Today's class is a reward for finishing new and second at Intinuing. All our chefs are making Algerian-based recipes. Our first chef is Hajar.
Hi, today we're going to be making khubz al-bang. So you need 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of crushed almonds, half a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, some butter for the pan, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder, 8 eggs, and then 2 cups of breadcrumbs.
And this is the pan.
How many?
All of them.
All of them? Okay.
Yeah. Just don't get a shell in there.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. Just these eggs are like way more delicate than I'm used to. I'm used to like the brown ones.
Really? My mom buys like half and half.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll buy white ones. And
No, I never use white ones.
So it's gotta be perfect.
What's different?
I don't know. But why are white ones so delicate?
I don't know. Okay, there. Oh.
And then turn it on light.
It's good. Oh my gosh, I hate this. It looks so weird, doesn't it? It looks like dry skin. I feel like it's moving too much. Like the fold.
Try to edit it. It's fine. I'll she had a guest over and my aunt and she was sick. She was like, just go and make her
Open the folder because I'm gonna bring it right now. Oh, you are? Okay. Just...
For how long? What does this?
Our second chef is Insaf.
So what I'm going to be making is Algerian cake. So what you're going to be needing is a cup of oil, a cup of buttermilk, a cup and a quarter of sugar, 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt, orange zest or lemon zest, some butter, vanilla sugar, and flour. And the flour doesn't really need the oil. And then we're gonna be put in the sugar. And then we're gonna mix well.
I'm not talking to you.
is by mixing the sugar and oil very well. Okay, so after mixing for a while now, you should get a consistency like this. It's kind of dissolved, and when you lift it, it should look whitish yellowish. So now we're gonna add the orange zest. And we're gonna add the cacao powder. Okay, keep in mind you want to do half at once, and you're going to start by mixing like this, and then turn it on light. Okay, so now we're going to add the flour one at a time. So I'm going to do about half or more a cup, and I'm going to put it in, I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to add more. And while I'm going to put in the flour, I'm also going to put in the baking powder and baking soda so it's not all in at once. Okay, so now we are going to be adding the eggs. So I have 4 eggs, so I might use 3 or 4 depending on how the consistency is. And one of the key points is to do 1 egg at a time. So what I'm gonna do is my friend is gonna put 1 egg at a time. Gonna cut 1 egg at a time. Okay, take it away. Wait. It stopped on me. Okay, now add 1 more. Okay, so instead of using 4, I decided to use 3 because I think the consistency is pretty good and I don't think I need to add 1 more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the buttermilk, and again, kind of like the eggs, I'm going to do a little bit at a time. So first I'm going to start with about that much, and I'm going to mix. Okay, so now I just added a little bit more, and the reason I'm using buttermilk is actually to make it nice and airy, and instead of thick. So yeah, it helps with the consistency. Okay, so now we're gonna unload. So before I put it in the pit, I just want to let you guys know that your consistency should be like this. You should be able to make a figure 8. That's my little trick, a figure 8, without it breaking, yet you don't want it too thick. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna pour it in. So hopefully, inshallah, we want this to rise high. Okay, so now we're gonna pop some air bubbles just to make sure it's good. And we're gonna put the cake in 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. When you see it rise enough, and then I'm gonna poke the cake with a knife and see if it's good. So now we're going to be making the whipped cream for the filling. So we're going to put 1 packet of whipped cream powder, and then we're going to add a cup of milk, and we're going to add the milk little by little. So I put the whipped cream in the fridge, so now we're gonna make our ganache. And the two main ingredients, or the only ingredients, are the heavy cream and the chocolate. And you're gonna mix it in a tiny saucepan for a good consistency. Okay, so now we're gonna be making the ganache. So I have the heat on medium, or a little above medium, and I'm gonna let them melt a little before adding the heavy cream, because we want first to see how our chocolate reacts in a way. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream. Okay. Is this on time lapse?
No, just regular. I'll just make sure it's not. See, it's getting there. If you're gonna add more chocolate chips, you're gonna have to add more.
Yeah, heavy cream. Okay, so now we're gonna tap it a little bit.
Just a little.
Okay, Bismillah ya Rabbi, inshallah تخرج. Alhamdulillah. So it came out pretty nicely. So I'm gonna put it back in, so I can flip it, so I can cut it.
Yeah.
Can you come help? Could you please hold the cutting board in place?
It's jiggling.
Yeah. There.
So I need to make sure I don't cut it. I don't break it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Teamwork, the dream works.
Okay, so now I have a skewer, and I'm just going to poke a few holes. Even though, alhamdulillah, it's very moist and it already has holes, we just want to make sure. And then I'm going to put in homemade syrup made out of pineapples, some sugar, and some water. And we want to be very generous, but not too much. Now we're gonna get whipped cream. Okay, so now we're gonna put the ganache on top. And we're gonna watch it spread. Gonna allow it to spread. We're just gonna help it out. And then we're gonna decorate.